Hey, this is Pete from Abstract Ocean. Today we're working on the Rivian R1T. We are installing, drum roll, the trunk bed decal. So right now, as you can see, this is in the yellow. We'll have more colours coming soon. We're just working on matching the vinyl right now. So in this video, we're going to show you two ways of installing it. The first way, we're just going to do it in situ, so without removing anything. The only downside of that is you're sort of laying on your stomach for 10 minutes and kind of craning your neck. So if you don't mind a bit of a backache, then that's by far the easiest way. Option two is we can remove the panel and just install it right here. Applying the vinyl is a little bit easier that way, but you've got the hassle of removing the panel, which isn't difficult at all, but it's still a little bit of extra effort. So you choose, but we recommend option one if you can do that. I lost the audio during the actual installation video, so I'm re-recording this segment. So I'm going to just voice over that. Hopefully it all makes sense. But with that, let's get going with the unboxing. All right, as promised, here we are in the bed of the truck, lying on my stomach. We've tried different positions. This is just going to be the easiest, so it is what it is. First of all, we're going to clean. Particularly with trim, if you've used any of the sort of trim cleaning products like Armor All, they all leave behind an oily residue to kind of brighten up the black. So just be sure to clean the area pretty good with the wipes. Okay. So I'm going to start with the eye, and I'm kind of doing this with the camera in front of me, so if this looks a bit odd, don't worry about it. So the eye is obviously the easiest one, and the technique is going to vary by each letter, so try and watch the whole video if you can, just because there's a few tricks that we've learned through testing. So what I'm going to do is just remove it from the backing sheet and just kind of just gently put it on the squeegee like that, and then get your eyes down to the same level as the letter, and then just kind of, you just want to lay it in there, go slow, and as soon as you can see it's in the right spot, just do that. And then we're going to use the squeegee just to tuck it in, and then we're going to grab the wedge. You don't always have to use this, but it just does a real nice job of kind of really sort of conforming to the shape, and because it's quite a deep emboss, or deboss I should say, it just helps get in there. So that's pretty easy. We're going to do the other eye. It's always best to start with these, as I say, because then you can just get some practice in without moving on to the complicated letters. So same thing, just going to peel it back. Gently get it onto the squeegee. Oops. And then just kind of just wait for it to settle. There's actually some static that kind of crops up. There we go. On this and the vinyl. So the vinyl is kind of naturally attracted to this surface just a little bit. So just watch that. But you know, it's easy enough to deal with. I don't know if that's from when we were testing this yesterday. We were inside, so now we're outside for the video. Maybe it's not such an issue. All right, next up, the V. So for this one, the kind of most critical part of the letter is here. You don't want to screw that bit up, so we're going to start at the bottom. I am going to just peel this back, like so, and just kind of fold this back on itself, just to, it kind of just helps you, hold on to it. And what we're going to do, and the same thing really, just kind of drop it in there, kind of look on all sides, the bottom, and at the sort of the point of the V. When that looks good, just apply some pressure here, and then just let the vinyl roll off of there. Then I'm just going to grab a squeegee, get under there, so we can, and you don't want to stretch it into place, but you do want to just put a little bit of tension on it, like so. then we're going to grab this one out from underneath there again, so we don't want that sticking. And we're going to do the same thing. So you can manipulate the vinyl just enough to have it conform to the shape, like so. And then again, just use the squeegee to, we especially want to apply pressure to these central areas. The base surface of the deboss is quite flat. There's a slight texture to it, but not like there is out here. So we definitely want to get some good adhesion there. And again, finish it with this, kind of just work away all around the edges. All right. Next up in terms of ease is the N. So that's where we're going next. We're going to do the same thing as we did for the V really. So we're just going to peel it back at the top. I guess I should have mentioned, wash your hands before you install it. We don't want to contaminate the back of the vinyl too much. You know, now's not the time to open a bag of Cheetos, but other than that, it's not a problem. So I'm just going to kind of gently get that bit in there, apply some pressure up here, and then on this side I'm going to try and do the same with this piece as well. Just going to give it a bit of a hand, like so, and peel this off. Then we're going to take care of the rest of the leather. So let's pop this back out. So again, same sort of approach. We're going to just apply enough tension to help this piece lay down, and then fit it into the bottom. Okay, I'm going to work our way up here, and then this bit's pretty much done already, so I'm just going to give that a little poke there. I'm not going to get that out, do that properly. Okay, there we go. Let's just bring that down, like so. And I think this little bubble will work itself out. If you're not sure, I'm not sure about that one, so let's get the rest of this sorted out, and then we're going to come back to that. Okay, I'm not too happy with this bit, so I'm going to try and get this back out and do over. Okay, that's pretty well in there. So let's see if we can work this out, and if not, we're just going to use our spare. I think it's good to show imperfect installations as well as the perfect ones. So I don't want to go get a heat gun or anything like that. Honestly, it's just not worth the effort for a small piece of vinyl like this. Okay. Grab this, so you can see this one could be better, but honestly from a distance not too bad. So it's up to you if you just want to go ahead and use the spare piece for something like that, but you can see the vinyl kind of conforms pretty nicely to the shape, so you can kind of work around most issues. I don't have the spare with me, so but I will replace that in a sec when we pop the trim off and do that piece. All right, the two to the left, the A and the R. Same approach, gonna peel it off at the top. Like so, put a fold in it so it's not bugging you. And then just, again, get down to eye level. When you're happy, apply a bit of pressure, release the vinyl. Then let's pick this back out. Okay, then like before, we're just going to apply just enough tension just to keep it straight and follow the deboss, and then let's get this bit out. Right now the temperature here is about 20 degrees Celsius or 68 Fahrenheit, which is a really good temperature for installing vinyl. If you go much warmer, then the vinyl gets a little tacky and there's more chance it'll stretch when you're sort of manipulating it into place. So if you can do it when the temperature's pretty, well, temperate, what's the word? Anyway, when the temperature's kind of, you know, normal, not too extreme either one way or the other, then that will help make sure is successful. All right, and the very last one are, I think you get the gist now, just use the backing paper to kind of almost drag it into place and you'll just find its natural position. But take your time. If you're not happy with it, just start again. And the vinyl will only fully conform or fully adhere when you apply pressure to it. And these complicated shapes, or more complicated shapes, the R and the A, just take a bit more time. But that's looking pretty good. Release that. Get the squeegee. So this one as well, we just kind of want to, help it around the bend, but not too much. Just very, very gentle tension, just to encourage it into the right spot. And then likewise here, kind of pulling on its leg. And we'll get that in place first. Okay, so move that around. And let's figure this bit out a bit better. Okay, I'm just going to use my finger to gently smooth this out, like so. And then this last bit, just pull on its bottom just a little bit, help that home, squeegee it into place, find the wedge, although it may look flat, it's important to squeegee out all of the flat surfaces because the nature of the vinyl is it has air release technology on the back, which just basically means the adhesive on the back surface is scored, which allows the air bubbles to escape a lot easier. On an application like this, nothing is more than 15 mil wide, so it's not as if you're applying it to a car body wrap, but still it's important because otherwise when the temperature changes you'll start to see some bubbles popping up. All right, and there you go. So that's installing in situ. Now we're going to pop the panel off just to show you if you want to install it on a flat surface. The only reason you want to do that is if you happen to have the panel off anyway, if you're really uncomfortable laying on your stomach, but other than that, as you can see, that was pretty straightforward. Alright, so for part 2 we're going to remove this panel. Again, I don't think it's really necessary unless you're just not comfortable laying on your stomach to install the decal, or if you've got this coming off anyway. To do this you don't have to have an impact driver, but you need a 10 millimeter socket, and then just a regular small flat blade screwdriver. I'm normally pretty reluctant to use metal on plastic, but these caps, it's really the only way to get them off. So I'll go slowly on this first one just so you can see it hopefully in some detail on the camera, and then I'll buzz through the rest of them. So really what you want to do is just gently get under one side, and you'll feel where there's more of a gap to get the screwdriver under. So if I'm not having much luck, okay, there we go. And just kind of help it out just a little bit. And this is just a cap that's sitting on top of another reverse washer, as you'll see in a second. Okay, there we go. So that's what it looks like. That's the back of it. So when you're prying it out, you need to use the smaller screwdriver to make sure you're not getting underneath the metal, because you'll make no progress doing that. So as long as you're just kind of getting the plastic, it'll come out really easily and without marking. All right, I'm going to buzz through the rest of them and then we'll work on the panel. Okay, that's those off. Now it's just the bolts. These are pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just buzz through these real quick. Let's stand up, just lift this out, super easy. Okay, let's get this done. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the emblem that we just installed. To do that, just kind of, if you have fingernails, just get under the edge of the vinyl and just pull it up. This is obviously fresh vinyl. It's been on here for a year or 3, then it'll still come away. You may just rip a couple of times rather than coming up in a clean piece, but yeah, by design this stuff comes off pretty easily if you need it to, but otherwise it'll stay on for as long as you need it. Outside, constant exposure, 3M warranty it for I think 5 years, so you may start to see it fade after that amount of time, but obviously it's a pretty easy replacement, and maybe you want a different colour by then anyway. Right, I'm going to skip the cleaning step since we've already done that earlier. I'm going to do the same thing though. I'm going to start with the eye. So now that it's flat in front of us, aside from just not killing your back, gravity kind of helps a little bit with this now as well. So same thing, just kind of catch it with the squeegee. I'm kind of looking at the bottom edge here, just to encourage that into place. It's pretty good. Apply a bit of pressure at the bottom, then apply a bit of tension to get to the top. I'm going to lay everything in first, and then I'm just going to squeegee it at the end this time. Another eye. Again, looking at this bottom edge, waiting for it to just kind of sit in there. It's good. Apply a little bit of pressure, remove that. Continue applying pressure. Just want to sort of encourage it into position. Okay, the V next. So if you remember, we're going to peel this back here. Put a fold in it, and then we can use this as our application tool. Just sort of drag it along, wait for it to drop into the slot. That's pretty good. Apply some pressure down here, just enough to hold the vinyl in place when you peel back the film. Oops, grab that bit. Yeah. Let's do this bit first because I've still got the handle on that. Alright, so this side we're just going to maneuver it into place, use a little bit of tension. That's great. I'm going to try and hook this bit out, although it's kind of in position anyway, so I think I'm just going to go with it. A little pressure there. Perfect. Obviously if it's sitting in the shape correctly, then it will just find its own happy place anyway. Okay, to the N. Fade away the top. When you're doing this, I'm going pretty quick. Just be cautious not to stretch the vinyl. Yeah, these are thin, weird pieces, so they will stretch quite easily, and unlike when you're wrapping a car, you don't actually want them to stretch because they're pre-cut. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Help that in there, then over here, another bit. Important to get the symmetry right here, or the alignment, so wherever the top of this is, you want to make sure it's where the top of this one is too. So don't go too low or too high in the deboss, otherwise it will cause problems. Okay, I'm going to catch that with that for a second while I take care of this side. Okay, so just gently put it into place and place it. On this side, kind of same thing. Let's bring this diagonal down. Good. And then let's grab this. Oops. Get the base in place. And then just push that into the right area. Okay. So we'll do the A while we're over here. Nice. Okay. Again, pressure on this bit. Remove the backing paper. If you want to avoid, you can try and catch it if you like as it sits down, but we'll just use the squeegee to get it. Let's get this one first. So, yeah, we're putting some tension on this section here. We're also looking at the horizontal section as well to make sure that's sitting in the right place, which it is. Get that in there. And let's just hook this out. Bring that down to the right spot. The actual finished look, maybe you can see it on camera, is almost like we've poured some enamel into the deboss. It's a really nice effect. I guess if you wanted a super fancy finish, you could actually pour some enamel in there and get the same kind of look. Last one. The R tends to be my nemesis on this, so I don't know if that means it's going to be tricky for everyone, but just take your time on this one. You may become complacent because you've just done 4 other letters and they went great, but don't be fooled. The R is out to get you. Okay, let's bring that around there. Kind of help it into here. Sorry if this is kind of all fingers and thumbs. I'm trying to capture all the camera angles, but it's a little bit difficult. Come around this side. There we go. All right. Place that in the horizontal section. Fall into place. And you grab its leg. Put that down there. As you can tell, your fingers are remarkably squeegee as well. And last bit, it's this bit. Get squeegee under there, under here. And then just pull that one home. Okay, now they're all installed, we're going to concentrate on using ideally the flat surface of this one for the areas it'll fit into. Just to apply the pressure to the relatively untextured area on the inside of each of the letters. Okay. All that's left is to put the panel back on. Pretty obviously, that's a reverse of taking it off, but I'll speed through that real quick and we can call this done. All right, let's drop this into place. Leave that line. Okay. It's a very easy piece to install and remove. Once you know how to do it. Just the anatomy of this, so hopefully the camera's getting this. So you have the bolt, then the washer, then you have this kind of catch washer that goes on that way, like that. All right, let's get this screwed in. Just a quick note, when you're putting these in, there is some movement on this catch washer. It's supposed to be aligned by these little detents here, but just make sure it does. Otherwise, if it's up against the edge too much, then you won't be able to snap the cover back on. So just kind of help it into place. you go. That is the Rivian trunk bed logo for the R1T. Thanks for watching.